Welcome back, Geometry. In this video, we'll be doing some core level practice with special angle pairs. So if you're someone who looks at these problems and thinks that you can do them pretty comfortably, maybe you should move on and do some of the standard level practice in some of the other videos. If you like the extra practice, feel free to stay, grab a notebook and a pencil because we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so the directions tell us to solve for x and the angles in each diagram. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. And if you need to, again, pause the video to draw the diagrams and label them as you see fit. So the first thing I want to make sure is just that I know that these are parallel because I've got the arrows shown. Okay, so if I'm trying to solve for x in this first diagram, let's call this diagram A. Ooh. That was a weird A. Then I want to figure out what the relationship is between the angle measures that they gave me. So I've got 23x minus 5 and 21x plus 5. And so if I'm trying to figure out what the relationship is, I might look at my notes and I might recognize that those are corresponding angles. And one thing we know about corresponding angles is that they are congruent. So an equation that I can set up is 23x minus 5 equals 21x plus 5. Okay, so to solve for x, I just want to do some basic algebra. So we're going to add 5 to both sides, and that gives me 23x equals 21x plus 10. I want to subtract 21x on both sides, and that's going to give me 2x equals 10. Divide both sides by 2. And so solving for x means that x here is going to equal 5. If I want to find the angle measures, I can just go ahead and plug 5 in for x. So let's see, 23 plus 5 is 115, and 115 minus 5. That would mean that this angle measure is 110 degrees. And since corresponding angles are congruent, that means this other angle is also 110 degrees. Okay, let's move on and try the next diagram, and let's call this one diagram B. So when I'm looking at the angles that they give me, I see that they're both on the exterior region and they're on either side of the transversal. So that means that these are alternate exterior angles. And we know that alternate exterior angles are also congruent to each other. So the equation I want to set up is -1 plus 14x equals 12x plus 17. Okay, so now the work begins to start solving for x. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Let's start off there. And that gives me 14x equals 12x plus 18. Next thing I want to do is move all of my x's to one side. So I'm going to subtract 12x on both sides. And that gives me 2x equals 18. Last thing I want to do is divide both sides by 2. So I get x equals 9. Okay, I've solved for x. And now I want to find the angle measures of those angles. So I can plug 9 in for x. So it becomes 12 times 9 plus 17. 12 times 9 is 108. And 108 plus 17 is 125 degrees. So if that angle is 125 degrees, so is the other one that's labeled because they are congruent. Okay, let's do these two bottom diagrams. Let's call this diagram C. Okay, when I look at the angles that are given to us, I see that they are on either side of the transversal, so one on the left and one on the right, and they're on the interior region. So that means that these are alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles are congruent to each other. So the expression I can set up is x plus 139 equals 132. Subtract 139 on both sides. And I get x equals -7. Okay, and that means then that this angle up here is also 132 degrees. Okay, last one. So again, I've got another pair of alternate interior angles, so I can set up 8x minus 4 equals 60. We're going to go ahead and solve for x and we're going to start off by adding 4 to both sides. So we get 8x equals 64. Last step is to divide both sides by 8, so we get x equals 8. Okay? And if that one angle that was given to us was 60, this angle must also be 60. If we're trying to find all of the other angles, remember that they are either supplementary or congruent to each other. So that means this angle must be 120. This angle is also 120. This is 120, and this last angle is 60 degrees. Okay, thanks for watching. Let's go ahead and try some standard problems next in the next video.